This video, I want to continue the conversation we had in last week's video about location within landscape photography and how you don't need to travel to faraway, untouched ground to create great landscape photography images, and why location isn't really as important as most people make it out to be within landscape photography. In this video, I'm going to give some practical advice for those landscape photographers who may not live in an exciting location, because you can take great landscape images in unexciting places. You do not need the epic mountain peaks of the West, the black sandy beaches of Iceland, or even the giant redwood trees to get amazing landscape photos. Some of the world's best landscape images were actually taken in really simple places. Go ahead and check out last week's video if you don't believe me. The first practical advice I can give you is to really know your location, like really know your local area. You might have your go-to park or your go-to woodland that you shoot your images at, and that's totally fine. The more time you spend at those areas, the more rewarding it will be, I promise. But I'm talking about really investing some time, doing research, finding your local areas, everything that exists within your local area. Pause the video right now and go ahead and do some research. Get a list created of all your local areas, small or big. Within a simple Google search, I'm sure you can muster hundreds of locations. Visit local tourist websites. Go on to government websites for crown land. Find local blogs or sites that discuss exploration in your local areas. Those are the gold mines. Now that you have a list of all the locations, you're a lot more equipped to actually go visit those areas. Now go ahead and make a schedule for yourself to visit a new location on that list every weekend or whenever you find time that you can. It's really exciting when you have a list like this because there's so much potential and so much opportunity to explore all these new areas. It's really fun. Once you have a schedule complete and you start going to these new locations every weekend, more and more, after 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, you'll start to realize that location really isn't as important as you once thought it was. You're going to be going to these local areas regularly, and you're going to be walking away with great images, and you're going to start thinking, oh wow, location really doesn't matter as much as I once thought it did. And I know what some of you viewers might be thinking right now. I visited all my local areas. There's no good landscape photography locations here for me to shoot at. To that, I would say that you'll be really surprised at how boring locations actually house amazing and unique things that nature has created, that you can document and create great images of. And I would encourage those individuals to visit those local locations from season to season, because things change, and with environmental change, our images change drastically, leaving you with great landscape photography images. Just like this location and scene I'm at today, I know this river behind me transforms in the winter and turns into this beautiful slush river that's lush with blue tones and white and silver tones, and you just get all these cool textures with the slush and ice. With my long lens, I'm able to focus in on small details of the river and exploit the beautiful colors and textures within. This location that's minutes from my home enables me to take beautiful fine art images, being another testament to the fact that you don't need exotic locations to take great landscape photography images. And you can't tell me that there isn't a river in your local area unless you live in the desert. I mean, most people should have access to a river. Another tip that will help you create great landscape images in perceived mundane locations would be to gain inspiration from other artists. Studying other artists is a sure way to become a better artist yourself. And I don't mean by viewing other people's work on social media, that rarely works. I mean by actually visiting artist websites or viewing actual curated events or galleries. Take a look at some of these landscape photographers that create amazing work, not from being in epic locations, but by creating in their own local areas. To me, it's creativity that ultimately brought these images to life and not location. Go ahead and set a weekly reminder for yourself just to take 15 minutes to view other photographers' work or other artists. Be sure to have a journal nearby when you view other people's work, because I'm almost certain that you're gonna be inspired. You're gonna come up with different ideas for future projects, and you wanna capture those ideas on pen and paper so you can go ahead and work on them and invest in them. The more that you'll view other people's work, the more you'll come to realization that location wasn't something that made these great pieces of art. It's not something that you should ever really prioritize in landscape photography. Creativity is probably what brought that art piece or what brought that landscape image to life. Creativity is why you keep going back and taking pictures. Location is not a prerequisite for creativity. Thank you guys so much for your time tuning into the video today. I hope that you guys learned something in this video that will help you become a better landscape photographer. If you want to learn even more about landscape photography, then consider subscribing to the channel. For now, just go check out some of my other videos, and then you can decide if you want to come on this journey with me. Thank you guys again so much.